Alright, what's good, y'all? It's the Dark Kage here, and today we're gonna be doing what if Deku had a Ghoul Quirk, and I said we because we got some members here, and we actually have a new member that I'm introducing now. Go ahead and introduce yourself, little fella.
It's DKMCYT.
And we have one of the OGs. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Crimson.
This is Crimson, the Fire Whatever. What's up, fuckers?
Go ahead and roll that intro, editor.
Novinha, safadinha, safadinha. Então vem cá mamar, que eu sei que tu é galinha. Então vem cá mamar, vem cá mamar, vem cá mamar.
Alright, y'all. So how we gonna start this what if off is that Deku is bothering Inko and he's jumping up and down on her bed telling her, Mom, let's go to the quirk doctor, let's go to the quirk doctor. So when they go to the quirk doctor, Izuku learned that he does have the thing in his foot first that let him know that if he have a quirk. And he's
extra bone in his speaking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what happened was is that this is when they find out he has a ghoulish quirk. That's what they call it, and he doesn't know how to activate it at first. So at first, Bakugo thinks he's capping about having a quirk. Go ahead, Crimson.
Yes, which means that his quirk is nothing more, what I like to say, maleficent. His greatest quirk is that give him all the abilities of your favorite nightmares. Or maybe he will be your nightmare.
And that's the thing. So at first, like I said, he didn't know that first. His quirk was because the type of ghoul we're talking about is the ghoul from Tokyo. First, the ghouls from Tokyo ghouls. So when he unlocks his quirk is when Bakugo. Y'all know. Remember when Bakugo was bullying that kid? So yeah, that's how he unlocks his quirk. So then when he goes, so like when Bakugo goes to go, this is when Izuku gets out of the. He gets in front of Bakugo with his four like Kagunes out. And when he first releases his Kagunes, this is when Bakugo backs up and says, You have a villain quirk. You're evil, you're bad.
And this comes from the brat who bullies people.
Coming from him, it doesn't really fit well because after all, he does have
An explosion quirk.
So it wouldn't, But Izuku thinks about
his
this.
Sweat is not so good. Taking his sweat is not so glycerin.
Literally, quite literally.
So that means he can. No, wait, when he sweats not so glycerin, then his sparks can ignite it. What the fuck is with these quirks?
That is very true. Like, bro sweats.
He sweats and explodes.
You gotta think about that.
His sweat is literally gasoline.
Like the way you can kill Bakugo is just put a bag on him and he's gonna sweat from it eventually.
Yeah, unless he's like immune from like his own attacks.
Can someone Jenny tell me what the fuck is with these quirks? We have a guy that sweats explosive. We have some emo sunscreen looking motherfucker that's literally a walking, talking air conditioning. And we have some straight that just act like a fucking frog.
And then remember, they also
let's not forget the pink girl that shoots white stuff from her hands.
Oh yeah, and don't forget about the old boy in the first episode who had the eyeball quirk for that he could take his eyeballs out and swing them around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway.
How is that even useful? No, somebody tell me how these quirks even work. And this comes from an amalgamation of what the fuck you can find.
Quite literally. So anyway, this is what leads into Izuku actually getting bullied. Like he actually started, going a little insane from all the torments and bullying from like literally everybody around him. Like he's a bigger nerd than he was before, which makes it a lot worse. Like he shelters himself from nobody, and the only person he really has is just his mom.
That's another thing I don't get. How can you make a quirk villainous?
Exactly.
If you have a good quirk like All Might, you can say that here. But if you have some kind of like
mutation type quirk.
Yeah, if you have a mutation type quirk, you can be good or bad. Kind of like that tape guy who shoots tape from his
Oh yeah,
elbows.
bro,
Yeah,
Spider Man.
yeah, basically Spider
Mister,
Man. Spider
you,
Man
you mean
was evil
Zero?
at times, and
Yeah,
he could be like a very good villain if he put his mind to it.
but yeah. So anyways, this leads. So now we time skip multiple years later, and this is like they're now in middle school, like finna graduate and go to
High school.
and go to UA. Of course, the teacher's going through the list of people who wants to go to UA, and he sees, oh, Midoriya. It seems like you want to also become, as far as you also want to go to UA. This is when Bakugo starts sweating deeply because then he starts yelling, Deku, there's no way you should be able to go there with your villain quirk. You'll try to kill
Yes,
every hero there.
And
but
I
his circus ask, will you kill? Will you kill more people because you're literally a walking, talking nuke? Just one sweaty day and some of them, bam! You would desecrate half of the beat or half a country. You're just a little dog with an anger problem. If you want to be like a dog, as he took out dog trees anger, want to play fetch boy?
And this is when everybody's surprised by Izuku's crash out because nobody expects that from Izuku because he's basically the quiet kid in the story.
exactly.
Like he doesn't like bother nobody. Like his once like green and black hair has turned completely white from all like the stress that he's had over the years. And this is when everybody actually just like Bakugo completely leaves him alone after that. But of course after class he still goes and try to jump Deku. Deku enraged accidentally kills the two bullies and Bakugo managed to get away. Izuku now from the sudden guilt he felt starts running really fast and like his Kagune is just like spreading out crazy.
And also, I have a question about that. So his hair turning white. Did like Shelto's dad when he saw if he like ever saw him, would he ever think he was Toya?
That would be an interesting theory. But if you seen Tokyo Ghoul, Kaneki's hair got completely white from like the torture and insanity. So that's what I was trying to yeah.
Ah,
Because because in real life your hair can
Um,
because in real life your hair can actually turn white from stress.
true.
Because I have like somebody in my high school that has gray hair already.
and to answer your question, since Todoroki or Shoto hair is already half white, pretty sure if he with the more stress and more trauma, his whole hair would be like Snow White. Let's be honest. When we saw Toya, most of his hair was red, but a little bit more white. But after what he's been through, thanks to Angie, he's basically just a big white head with a little bit of ice quirk and fire quirk at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be that, I guess.
But yeah, so this is when of course Izuku still bumps into All Might, but this time All Might can tell something's wrong with Izuku because all the blood that's naturally just gushing all over his Kagune tails. And this is when he's like All Might's naturally like a villain. And this is when Izuku like, no,
Look,
no, 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 no. That's not what I am, no. Because he looks really confused.
she say, I'm quite literally a teenager.
Yeah.
Really look closely.
Straight up. And then this is when he asks the kid what's wrong. And of course
See,
Izuku's gonna lie about, just killing those two kids,
Yeah, he's
obviously.
like I almost got jumped by
I
two kids and like I ran away before they can even touch me.
Yeah, but of course Bakugo, he's not gonna say that Izuku killed them because like he's scared of Izuku now. So
He
this is
still asks Kaki
see,
around other people, but like if they're in alone, they would just be like he would just be like, all right, I'm gonna stay over here.
so
I
not
might
oh sorry about that Crimson, go ahead.
is I might as a hero, you will have to be honest. With someone like a quirk like mine, do you think I could be a hero?
This is when he says this is my way possible. He's like, kid, what type of quirk? There's two different routes you can go down. You could still become a hero, a very powerful hero. Or you can go down the route of villainy, especially with the piercingness of those tail things you have. So all I can say is please
Say,
just try to pick the right path.
Deku thinks
say,
about this like really hard.
And of course, All Might still will sign his journal, but and All Might tries to jump off, and this is when he learns of All Might's skinny form. All Might explains his injury and all of that, and the sludge villain will still fall out because in this timeline, Izuku never got found by the sludge villain because Izuku was running in a different option and a different way than he usually would walk. So of course, this leads to Izuku seeing the entire thing going on with Bakugo.
See, you must know people who go through those type of bullies. Do you know what happened to those bully kids? They end up as the same monsters you fight every day. So tell me, with these two things you learn, who's really the villain here? The people who wants to live and dream of being heroes, being praised for their strength of protection, or the arrogant brats who don't care about themselves, who even sell their own goddamn souls to even get to kill even one.
Yeah.
Which ones do you think is more evil?
All Might thinks about this as he walks away. And this is when, of course, Izuku sees the sludge villain trying to take over Bakugo's body. Izuku, not being the person he was in canon, he naturally runs to help Bakugo. Bakugo naturally yells to get away from him, you murderer. This then gives Izuku terrible PTSD. Like he starts breaking down on the ground.
He starts breaking down, and I'm pretty sure like when you go through insane levels of stress, the ghoul power that he has, it starts to act up, right?
Yeah, even worse. So this is when and then Izuku's craving for human flesh has been really dormant because he's never had to use his quirk as much ever. So that's what makes it even worse.
Bakugo, you got this spicy with lots sauce.
So this is
Bones
when
and meat will feast.
so this is when Izuku attacks sludge bars. First of all, he takes out the sludge villain, and this is when he then grabs Bakugo, right? But before he can take rip his arm off or anything like that, of course he gets praised by all the heroes and all of that, and then eventually All Might still comes up to him and still asks him if he wants his quirk.
I'm saying, no. If I take your quirk, you probably gonna be helping ending with someone that's gonna end up as someone who is gonna become a cannibal. Because turns out, if I use my quirk for too long, I will start craving living human flesh like venom.
So yeah.
But I will have a compromise.
Oh, my
We
bad.
will train together. It's okay. We will train together every day for the rest of the few months. But you will not give me your quirk. How's that sound?
All Might says that sounds actually pretty plausible. It's because then he can mentor Farzizu into being able to control his cravings much more. But All Might will instead just give his quirk to Muriel like he originally planned to do in canon.
With Isuka ask,
I'll
who
explain.
who are you gonna give your quirk to anyway?
He explains there's this kid that's already in UI. His name is Muriel. He has the quirk of being able to not be physically tangible.
With Isuka saying, "Oh my, please tell me you're good joke because you're not joking, are you?"
He said, "No, that's who I'm giving it to because, as y'all all know, Muriel was kind of OP when he was single handedly handling Class 1A.
Yeah, with Isuka saying, mm-hmm. Okay, alright. I'm gonna ask you two questions, and what if I do next, I'll explain to you very carefully. Right or left?
He said, right.
As he said, slap him with his right hand. Now, why do you think I slap you?
Because I sound kind of stupid.
I say, yes, because if you give a kid with a permanation quirk, you're killing him.
Quite
I
literally.
studied different quirks all my life.
As in, as we, we.
If you give someone like that
Oh, sorry.
giving
Anyway,
someone like that a quirk enhancement, you are sending him to death. It probably took him years to even remotely consider ready enough for fights. Giving him that will make it on hard mode and he'll probably die from something random like being suffocated.
but
Giving
yeah,
him that quirk is like literally handing him death on a platter.
quite literally. Because as we all find out, is that we found out later on, is that if you have a quirk and you have one for all, this actually kills you much quicker because one for all, as we eventually found out, for people like All Might and Deku who were quirkless, they actually was benefited by one for all.
So I suggest you don't try to kill a child who probably already had difficulty controlling that quirk when he was younger. How about you try picking somebody that, I don't know, you want to try to kill? Maybe somebody that is older than him?
But
Or
yeah,
someone that at least can have a body that is strong enough. I really don't care.
so this is when Izuku
Hold
this
on, guys. I'll be right back.
all right. So this is when Izuku
Okay.
then first starts training with All Might. Now Izuku naturally was already like slim, like he had that skinny people muscles. So like a lot of this stuff, with the help of his Kagune, he was able to move a lot quick. He was able to move than he would Cannon. But the thing is that All Might told him to stop using his Ghoul quirk because he wanted him to physically get stronger without the quirk, and he doesn't want him to always rely on the quirk.
Relying on his quirk too much could like sometimes like if his quirk isn't available to him at that moment, it could like put him in very much danger. Like if he's like didn't train, if he trained without using his quirk 90% of the time, he would be more physically stronger. But you know, that's
But yeah, so as far as DK said, All Might would just continue. All Might and Izuku would continue to work on getting better at controlling his ghoul quirk and not have to rely on human flesh to make his quirk stronger, but to naturally just train to make the quirk stronger. But behind All Might's back, Deku have been going to like suicide spots, and he's been picking up far as dead. He's been picking up like flesh from that because, as y'all know, if y'all actually watch Tokyo Ghoul, that's how Kaneki and the rest of the people would get their flesh without having to go kill any humans. But y'all, this will be the end of part one to What If Deku Had a Ghoul Quirk. We will see y'all in the next video. We love y'all all, and we hope y'all have a good Christmas. All right, we out.
Merry Christmas.
We out.